Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to Devout Talk Show. Welcome to another episode. My name is Mo Mabandi, and today we're going to be talking about the importance of praying for your friends. Now, this can be a topic that you've seen before or heard before, or a topic that you've never seen before or heard before. Now, just in case you've been having a friend or having friends all throughout your life, and you've actually never considered praying for them, maybe this topic is for you. So for the first half of this, I'm just going to be explaining the dynamics of friendships. What are friendships? Why do we need friendships, and how you can become a better friend? And then later on, I'm going to explain the importance of actually praying for your friends. So friendships are dynamic relationships or connections we form either through mutual connections, social media, local communities, events, and many more. There's so many ways in which people become friends. I mean, you can meet a person at school, college, probably you met your friend back in preschool, primary, high school, up until now, or you've met your friend at a church, at a local community, at a certain gathering that happened throughout the years, and that is how we meet friends, or a mutual connection. Now, perhaps you've got a friend who has a friend, and then now you are now friends with that friend. So friends, like that's what I said, friendships are dynamic. It doesn't really matter how you met the person. It happens in so many different ways. So, a friend is someone with whom you share a connection, bond, or mutual affection, and a synonym for friend is a companion. So, when you hear people talk about my companion, in other words, they are saying that this person is actually my friend. So, when we form friendships, it's not all about girls' trip or boys' trip or hanging out and showing off your same hairstyles or the same matching outfits. There is nothing wrong with that, but there's more to friendship than that. And I know that many people are into friendships or they have friends because of the aesthetic, and it's not always about that. So, when we have friends, okay, let me put it this way. Friendships are not only there for us to assume that the other person always has to do something for us. Just like any other relationship, we need to be able to serve. So when I'm friends with someone, I need to consider these kind of things. How can I become a better friend? Now, this concept, I got it from one of the ladies I follow on social media. And one of the things she said, that when she got married, it wasn't all about how her husband is going to be buying her flowers, how her husband is going to be providing, like the expectations. I mean, of course, expectations are there in relationships, but she took it upon herself and she took the responsibility of like, okay, how am I going to become a better wife? How am I going to be cooking for my husband every day? How am I going to serve him, as a wife? And she said by doing that, it actually brought back what she was giving. So her husband started serving. He also started thinking of ways he could become a better husband. And I took that concept and I said, it doesn't only apply in marriages. How can I become a better friend? How can I become a better sister? Or if you're a brother, how can you become a better brother? And all those kind of things. So just like any other relationship, the spirit of serving has to be there. But because today we're focusing more on friendships, I thought it's important just to emphasize that point, that it's not always about your friend having to call, but what if you just tell yourself, I'm going to be calling my friend, I'm going to be checking up on my friend, just being able to serve. So by serving, I mean, like just thinking about how you can become a better friend in that friendship relationship, and how you can become a better listener, how you can become a better companion, and how you can become a better therapist. Now, this is not a joke when people talk about unpaid therapist or your friend being a therapist. More often than not, we are friends, we are therapists to our friends, and friends are therapists to us. Because when your friend is telling you what's going on in their lives, basically you are just there being a therapist and listening, and it's part of the friendship dynamic. So how can you become that of a better person, a better listener? You cannot say this person is my friend, and whenever they talk, it's all about you. You don't want to listen, you're not paying attention, but just being quiet and listening to what your friend is talking about, be it good, be it bad. It is just important to be a better friend to your friend. Okay, another key point that I wanted to emphasize is not everyone that you call your friend is actually connected to you. So this is something we need to decipher before we get into friendship relationships with people. Sometimes you are close or you are connected to this particular person, but they don't feel like you are close to them. Okay, let me put it this way. You regard someone so close and dear to you, but they don't regard you so dear and close to them. And that is okay. That is fine, because as people, we view each other in different ways. And there are friendships where, you can feel that the feeling is mutual. But it's always important to take note of that. Not that I'm saying I'm bringing negativity or anything like that, but then it's always just important to know that it is the same thing in every relationship or friendship, that sometimes you need to decipher the environment, you need to decipher what's really going on and all that kind of a thing when it comes to friendships. Because I actually came across a certain post a while ago that said something like, at times the people who are close to us, we are not close to them as we think we are. In other words, they do not really regard us as close friends. And whenever we have friendship dynamics, it's always important to just see how the relationship is. I mean, I can give an example. I've got like a few friends in my life, and between those friends, one of them is like the closest. Like, okay, maybe one or two of them, I'm like, okay, these are really close. They know almost everything about me. And then I have others that I'm not close to. They are my friends, but I've just not been open to them. And it doesn't change anything. We relate differently with people. Sometimes the one that I'm closest to is because maybe they understand me better, they don't judge me. Not to say that the other ones judge me, but like that's how things are. So when it comes to friendship dynamics and relationship, those are some of the things to take note of and all those kind of things. Okay. Also, it's important to ask yourself this question: how can I be there for my friend emotionally, psychologically, financially, and physically? As a friend, those are some of the things you need to ask yourself. Financially, you have to be there for your friend if they need financial help. If you guys want to go out, that's being there financially. Psychologically, remember the whole mental thing, processing everything that your friend is going through or how your friendship is coming together. Emotionally, how are your emotions? Do you feel like you are overburdened? Do you feel happy being with this person? And how you can be there for them in all those aspects. But now, because today we're talking about the importance of praying for your friend, so how can you be there for your friend spiritually? You are there for your friend emotionally. You are there financially, psychologically, emotionally. So how can you be there for them spiritually? You need to pray for them. As a Christian, born and raised, I believe that prayer is something very essential when it comes to one's life. Not only about yourself, but even about your loved ones that surround you. One TikToker once said, we need to pray for our friends because they are struggling and going through a lot, and even facing battles that at times they cannot talk about. This is very true. I mean, myself, there are certain things I don't tell my friends. Like, I can be going through something inward and I'm just like, you know what? Let me try to work on this, or to do this alone. Let me try to pray about it. Let me try to surrender it to God. Or let me tell my mom instead. I don't have to tell my friend, So the importance of praying for your friend is that sometimes maybe they are trying hard to go through this difficult time alone and they don't want to share it with you, not because you are going to do something better or whatever. But when you pray for them, sooner or later they usually find out that they went through this whole situation easily because you have mentioned their name in your prayers. That's the importance of praying for your friend. So when you pray for your friend, not only does it shift things in the spiritual realm or change their circumstances, but you become a better friend. Do you know why? Because now you're becoming a steward. You are being selfless. If that makes sense, you are not selfish, but you are praying for someone and you are thinking about how their lives can be better, because it's not always about us. It's always, yes, life can be about us, but it is also about the people that we call friends, or the people that we love. Because praying for friends is actually an act of service, and by praying for your friends, you have thought of ways you can become a better person yourself. So a pastor from my church once mentioned this, and I'm paraphrasing. He said that when you are praying, prayer does change circumstances, prayer does change situations, but one thing that prayer does is it changes you. Now, not only do you become a better Christian, or your relationship with God gets better, but in this case, praying for your friend, you become selfless and you become a steward, and you are able to think about others more than you think about yourself. I think it's okay to pray for yourself. I think it's very important to pray for yourself, but let it not be a 366 type of thing, like from January the 1st to December 31st, it is all about you. All about your hair, all about your car, your business, your promotion. Yes, we need all those things, or we want all those things, but why don't you pray for your neighbor? Why don't you pray for this man that you see is struggling? Just pray. That is an act of service. But because in this context we're talking about friends, pray for your friend. That is very important. And it doesn't always have to be, oh, I'm praying for her because she's going through a difficult time. Even if they're thriving in life, pray for them. Pray that God protect their promotion, protects their blessings, because that's just important for us to pray for our friends. So you are dying to self when you become a steward. You are dying to self when you decide to pray for other people. Recently, I was studying the book of Job, and I came across this verse, Job chapter 42, verse 10. It says, when Job prayed for his friends, the Lord restored his fortunes, giving him twice as much as before. This is only after Job prayed for his friends that God restored his fortunes. But it doesn't mean that if he didn't pray for his friends, God wasn't gonna bless him. God doesn't change, he will remain God. But what God was teaching Job was selflessness. There's a possibility that as much as in the beginning of the book of Job, the Bible says he was a righteous man, he was blameless before God, perhaps he was selfish. I mean, the Bible doesn't really delve into so much detail, but we've got the key important points. And these are assumptions. I'm not saying that he was, but perhaps he was selfish. I mean, he had his children, he had his wife, he had his servants, he had the cattle. He was just a rich, good man. And perhaps he was selfish, and him going through what he went through, for God to tell him, now pray for your friends. Job prays for his friends, and then God restores him twice as much as he had. God was just trying to knock some sense into Job, like, yo, you need to be selfless. You need to stop being selfish. And perhaps he actually changed his character and his personality, and he became more of someone who is more aware of other people, how to become better, a better servant and a steward to other people, instead of just focusing on having servants that served him all the time. So that is my perspective, and this topic was actually derived from that verse, because I read the whole book of Job. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. And when this part came, I was like, I need to talk about the importance of praying for friends, because it was a topic I had in mind, but I think the timing wasn't right, and I felt like I think today is actually the perfect day to actually talk about this. So God was teaching Job selflessness. So sometimes all you need to do is pray for your friend to do well in order for you to excel. Sometimes, guys, our blessings are in praying for other people. Our blessings are in praying for our friends. Our blessings are praying for our colleagues. Our blessings are in praying for the town that we live in. Our blessings are in praying for our neighbors, or just anyone else besides ourselves. Even if you've never prayed for like your sibling or anything, just take away yourself for a moment and take time to just pray for other people. And because we're talking about friends, pray for your friends. You've been friends with this person for years, and maybe you've never uttered a word to God about their lives. Maybe you need to start today. And that is the power of praying for your friends. This is everything I have to say, guys, regarding the importance of praying for your friends. Let me know what you think. And please don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share, tell a friend to tell a friend. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.